Greetings from Layton, Utah. Today is January 1st, 2023. Happy New Year. About 2:20 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a snowy day here. I know the fog is covering the mountains because, all that grayish area, foggy area is typically where you would see the mountains, but it's been snowing all day. Because everywhere where you see the white right now has not been there for the past several days. This is all fresh for the start of the new year. So even at about midnight last night, when New Year's rang in and 2022 came to a close, there was no snow on the ground. All came in the new year. So what we're going to do is just do a snow walk. I was actually just finishing watching the Cleveland Browns game where they defeated the Washington Commanders. Even though the Browns are eliminated from the playoffs, I still religiously watch every game and also cover them for my website. But like an hour and a half before the game is when I woke up and I saw it was snowing out, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, I hope it's still going to snow after the game, because I'd really like to do a walk in the snow. And I checked the forecast, and right when the game was ending, the snow was going to decline from 100% certainty to like 83%. But I figured, that should still be good enough. And it'll be nice because even though it's not as pretty when you look at the streets, because I think the coolest walks are when even the plows haven't had a chance to come out. You still get to see like the fresh snow in the trees. And hopefully the camera is actually able to pick up the snowflakes. I would think it would with the high quality resolution I'm shooting in. Just remembered I should close my zipper on my pocket. This jacket that I wear, I always love this jacket because it's lightweight but warm, but it also holds my phone perfectly in the side pocket. But with the snow falling, it could still turn to water when it melts. I don't want to get something bad with the circuits on the phone. Oh, I hear a snowplow coming behind us. I should go up into the snow a little bit here in the grass, because otherwise it's gonna blow into me. Oh, where's it going now? It's gonna go back the other direction. That was a pretty swift turnaround, huh? We're going to start off by walking downhill. Thinking of going through the park called Kays Creek Parkway and walking through there. Although I'll see, because yesterday when I walked through there had been some rain throughout the weekend. And although the main paths are dry, everywhere around it was kind of like a swampland. Little pond is still protected from the snow. Oh look, there's actual fish in there too. I've been by this pond a few times, but I've never noticed that there's actual live fish in there. This video also marks a bit of a celebration as we're celebrating the Poco Traveler channel reaching 1,000 subscribers and actually surpassing 1,000. I think when I started this video we were at 1,034 subscribers. So I want to thank everyone who's been following and enjoying our videos. That was about December 29th, I think, when we officially passed it, or maybe on the 28th, I forget. See the snow condensation or whatever on my glasses a little bit. If it gets too bad, I'll take them off and put them in my pocket. But look when you turn this corner, and the fog is still up above, so you can't see the mountains, but you can still now see like the lower part where all the trees are. So that's a nice bit of a view as we get closer to Case Creek Parkway. So what's in tune for the channel for the new year? Well, even though I try to cover neighborhoods and explore neighborhoods, and I still do that, I also oftentimes will go with certain themes. So like Halloween time, I try to capture the fall flavor of leaves changing in certain parks, and also some Halloween houses. Christmas time, I try to find like special Christmas exhibits and decorations. And now that we're in winter, the main theme is kind of doing the snow walk everywhere. I saw someone shoveling here. So this is when you enter Case Creek Parkway. One thing you have to be cognizant of is that there could be cougars frequenting the area. I've never seen a cougar, fortunately, but good to be on your toes in case you do encounter one. See what I was talking about, how when I was here the other day there was like a bit of a swampland, so that stuff hasn't had a chance to melt. Now this path was completely clear, like you didn't see any snow here or up on the mountain, not mountain, but the hills the other day. People use this trail frequently, like we'll probably encounter a few walkers, joggers, and dog walkers. Probably not any bicyclists today. But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, I'll try to cover areas in the snow if possible. Oh, you see that like way up there? There's someone on a sled. I hate to take my gloves off, but I do need to at some point snap a couple of pictures with my phone. The first two groups I've encountered, both of them have had like a little sled with them too. We've got a nice little doggy running up to us now. So if you enter Caves Creek Parkway, where I just did, then the first path you encounter to go either direction is right here. It's harder to tell because of the snow on the ground, but if I go this way and keep going, I could either circle around to come all the way back here, or when I reach like the diagonal in that corner over there, you can keep going that direction toward the mountains. And there's also a path that you can go that goes this way. That was actually closed off even yesterday due to unsafe conditions, it said. And that was probably because it's like, in order to get in down here, you're taking a curving, steep path. And that area did still have some snow on it, even with everything else dry yesterday. So it was probably icy. Although it looks like way up there again, that's where those, you probably can't see it again on the camera, but that's where the people were sledding. So that might be sort of close to where part of that path starts to get down here. Now for some other perspective, where I started this video is right up there, kind of like next to that house. I think I was in that blank plot of land looking over the mountains. So we walked from up there, took like the streets to go down the hill, and now am located where I'm at now. During this walk, I'm going to try to do a mixture of my narration. For those who have seen my videos before, you know that I love narrating, talking about what I see. Some people don't quite like that, but hey, it's just my style. But I will, like I said, try to have spurts where it's a little bit of ASMR and you just enjoy the scenery or the sound of the feet crunching the snow. This is what I was talking about, the part of the trail that was closed due to unsafe conditions. But this is just to get like up there from where those houses are, down into the park is like a long curvy trail to get down into here. It looks like someone over here tried to build maybe a miniature snowman? I don't know. It would be really nice to cover an area like downtown Ogden or downtown Salt Lake City while I'm here in Utah when it's fresh snowy conditions like this. But sometimes the challenge is actually getting there while it's snowing, because sometimes that snow happens overnight, for example, or there's like a finite window if I want to take the train to either of those places. When I would do my summer videos, it was easier because I would just hop on my bike, go to the train station, and then start exploring. But not gonna ride a bike when there's fresh snow on the ground. And yeah, I could do like a Uber, catch a ride. But then if you go through that hassle, there's no guarantee that it's gonna still be snowing when you go to explore those areas. You can see on the left and the right now we're kind of surrounded by open areas of snow and trees. And then this half marker, I believe, indicates that we've walked half a mile since entering the trail. Sorry, no, occasionally on the camera you're seeing me put my glove back on. It's from me taking a picture for a second. Oh, you got a group over there building a nice sized snowman. Yeah, I will say that about the snow. Sometimes when the snow is relatively freshly fallen, you know, it's hard to make a snowman right away because it's like fluffy. But at least the portions that I've been walking through are not so fluffy. They're already in that hardened state a little bit. So that's pretty cool that they were able to construct that. And that's a pretty big sized one. Try to zoom in as we get a little bit closer. This over here, though, is another access point to Case Creek Parkway with a parking lot. In this portion, you actually have some houses that are like almost down in the parkway. Like they're not actually in it, but the road that leads down here curves down, and they just have houses built along it. So this is probably the closest house besides where we first entered, where the house is like right on top of the parkway. Yeah, look at those, look at that snowman. It has a huge base to it. You can see the contrast though. One house in the foreground, and then above it on the hill, not quite hidden by the fog, just a little bit blurred. There's more houses up there. I walked a dog named Coco through here during the summertime, and one of the things I like about the park is that throughout it they have the doggy litter bags. And granted, I still bring my own, but they have the trash cans too, so that's convenient. There aren't a lot of benches throughout the parkway, but there are a couple, like right there. So you need a little rest spot. What I was going to consider doing was keep walking until I hit that Hobbs Reservoir, which I've covered in several videos, but it's always nice to see it at any point of the year. And then maybe from there, I wouldn't continue on Case Creek Parkway further. Like if I kept going further, there would eventually be a little ending point near a teeny tiny bridge with a little pond. So instead, when I get to Hobbs Reservoir, I'll try to either pick a path to the left or the right to exit and walk a little bit by some neighborhood houses. I don't think I mentioned the temperature. Usually I try to do that at the beginning of the video, but When I left, it was 31 degrees. Feels like 25. But there's very little, if any, wind to be felt, so that will always make it much better when exploring in the cold. And plus, with the way I'm dressed, I already have a very nice thermos built up. Oh look, someone else built a snowman over there. Wow, I wonder if someone dared try to go up that big hill there and do a sled down it. I'd be a bit chicken to try that. Let me try to get a picture of that snowman. I like how they did like the little leaves. So once we get here, we start narrowing at least a little bit, where we're surrounded by trees on both sides instead of seeing the open field. The open field is still there. It would just be on the other side of the trees. Now what do we have here? I see another trail closed sign. Toward the right end. I haven't walked this full thing in a while, so I don't remember if me going uphill will still take me by the reservoir. Trail closed for season. So I'll respect the signage there and just go uphill from here. It does say on that sign, Canyon View access to the left, Oak Forest access to the right. I feel like we're still going to see the reservoir by going this direction. It was very picturesque. That's why I stopped the video for a second to like. It may sound silly, but seeing this little branch sloped over, and you could even like take some shots zooming in that go like through and see into the distance, but blur the tree in the very near foreground. I'm trying to like learn some other photo techniques slowly after seeing a couple of other photographers I follow deploy similar techniques at times. You can't capture that same zoom feature on the video though, so that's why I didn't bother showing it. I think we're getting really close to the reservoir. See how there's like a hill that goes downward beyond the gate. But on the height of that hill, there's a path to walk across, and on the other side is where the reservoir is, which I assume will be frozen. And here you go. Yep, it's frozen. That's a big body of water normally right there. Big, like clear, beautiful body of water. And then typically in the summer, and even in the winter, you would see the mountains in the background. So right now, this is probably the least appealing, so to speak, that this view will look like, just because in the wintertime it's best when you don't like see the snow covering. Like, it would be nice, see how you see the ice around the outer edges? It's nice when you see the whole body of water iced, and then it's like you can actually see the mountains in the background, which I have pictures of in the past. But yeah, that's nice, still a nice view and good to come by. So I wonder if the access point over here is going to be open or not. There's another connecting trail where if you lived in a house or street like up over there, you could take downward. But it is, again, pretty steep, like the one toward the beginning of the video that was closed off. Yeah, you can see this. So this body of water extends all the way over there. It extends all the way over there. It's a pretty decent sized body called the Hobbs Reservoir. One little thing that I find a little bit interesting is that in the past when I've come by on either side, I think, there would be a bar, like probably, maybe it was over there. Like, in order to get through there, you'd have to step over the bar. So if you had a bicycle, you'd have to lift it above the bar a little bit, or like when I walked Coco, the dog, in the summertime, I believe, I had to like take the leash underneath the bar since the dog slipped under it. Now they have similar, like over there's a bar. Oh, that one looks like a little bit more restrictive of a bar. You know, I'm trying to get my bearings here. I feel like that was part of the trail that's now closed off. Yeah, let me... oh, maybe this is the bar I was thinking of the whole time. Alright, never mind. Yeah, so the bar wasn't over there. The bar is still here. What I was remembering was this. I thought it was closer to the thing. So they still have it. You can forget what I said. Now, interesting, they don't have like the closed sign here, because that path we showed earlier that was closed, I think would have come up this way eventually. I believe that is a path going downward that takes you to a different area, but I don't quite recall, so I'm going to try to walk up here. This should be a path that exits Case Creek Parkway. I'm going to take my time though, because I don't want to be huffing and puffing too much from the steep incline. You can see there's not as many footprints over here, and we haven't encountered any walkers in a while. What's this on the ground? Is it a stick? Huh. Someone lost their battery pack, maybe to a drone or something? Yeah, when you see the height of this, you can imagine if the weather conditions were such that if it was like icy, wouldn't be the best idea to try to go either direction. But not a concern right now. I feel like in this spot here you can really capture the snow on the trees. And then if you can see through to the background as well. So funny enough, this ended up being like one of the most picturesque spots. And if you were, for some reason, desperate for civilization, like, I need help, I need rescued, seeing a fence like this in a house would be like, yes, I made it. Of course, there is a sign there. Trail access closed due to unsafe conditions. So I guess they don't want you going down it, but there was no sign once you're in there because I guess, what are they going to do, tell you you can't exit? I don't know where these streets particularly lead, other than the fact that I'm heading toward the mountains. It is uphill though, so that continues the workout portion for me, so to speak. So for an update on my thermos, my internal body heat, I am sweating to, I feel like I'm sweating to death all up and down my body. So I'm getting real close to taking, well, my hood off and maybe going to a lighter glove. Although I hesitate on the glove because that's kind of the area I want to keep warm, since that'll get cold the quickest. Yeah, I'll at least take my hood down, get some air in my neck. I wonder if this is going to just end up looping back around. That's what it kind of looks like. Got a puddle here. Let's see how we can avoid it, maybe. Try to get back up on a sidewalk. Yucky to walk in the slush. This is a tricky spot because you can clearly see that it's like frozen water underneath. Let's see if I can get around these cars here. Obviously smells don't come through in the video, but I can smell like a wood burning fire somewhere nearby. If you are still watching this video, or if you happen to just pick the spot to tune in, sometimes you may wonder, like, what's so interesting about walking around a neighborhood like this? There's like millions or hundreds of thousands of neighborhoods like this across the country, and there's a ton of them that have snow. Yeah, that's true. The purpose is just to, hopefully, if you just want to relax a little bit, or maybe if you are in one of the states like California or Florida that don't really get snow and you remembered it when you were younger, or if you're in a different country and want to see some glimpses of what a snowy neighborhood would look like at the start of 2023. There's a sense of relaxation to it. And it's always, even though my channel's, I think just entering its, I'm trying to think if this is the second or third year. Probably the start of the third year, but like very start. And historically, in the wintertime, some of my most searched videos are snow walks. And I do believe they are a lot of viewers from other countries. Alright, now before I walk down here, actually I'm going to peek at Google Maps for a second. Just to see. I feel like that's a dead end down there. Oh, well, snowplow just came from over there. Ah, so it's not a dead end. And it looks like actually if I take this road, it's going to lead me to I think the main road, but we'll see. Let's see here, for the depth of the snow. What do you want to say? So you'll see where my boot, this is like not shoveled in this area, so that's probably, I'm going to guess 4 to 5 inches. Which is nothing compared to like what Buffalo had, or has had at times, where they have like 3 to 4 feet of snow as recently as a few weeks ago. I think that would be extra fun to selfishly cover for a video purpose, but it would also at the same time be hellacious to try to clear it, and you'd have local places closed, and also the safety concerns, because that is another thing, especially if the temperatures get low. Like back home in Cleveland, a few days after I got on my plane to Utah, Cleveland experienced a weekend where the temperature was like 0 degrees or -1 degrees as the actual temperature, and the winds were 30 miles per hour with gusts up to like 60 miles per hour, and that made the feels like temperature feel like -28 degrees, which in that temperature, I really don't care how much you're dressed. You're gonna be freezing, because the wind makes a world of a difference. Let's see over here. So this isn't actually the main road. It's kind of a side road adjacent to the main road and cut off by this sound barrier wall. And you can see on the left, it looks like they have barrels up that close the adjacent or parallel road. So I might not be able to fully get over here. But anyway, what I was going to say was I saw a couple of short videos on Instagram where people braved going like right by the Lake Erie and some piers because it was very cool to see how everything was like frozen and icicle covered, and it just looked like, you know, almost like a glacier had hit the East Coast. And one person did try to walk around downtown Cleveland and take a couple of pictures, but they were really dressed up big time. Yeah, I don't think I would have attempted to do that for safety reasons. Now let's see here. So you could technically go along this road, but that's just going to take us to, I think the bad thing about that is that takes us to a highway which gets us close to the mountains, but A, you can't see the mountains, and B, the reason I've never walked over there for walking purposes, well, I kind of take that back. I guess we are pretty close to the mountains. Oh, I see where we're at now. Yeah, we're at a different spot than I thought we were. Yeah, so going this way wouldn't really... There may be a couple of houses down that way, but I actually want to probably backtrack this way. And that'll bring us to East Antelope Drive. Yeah, once I get to the intersection of East Antelope Drive and this Interstate 89 that's on my left, the problem is if I want to get to the mountains, which are on the left, so believe it or not, right there are huge mountains that are very beautiful and covered with snow right now. But even though we're so close to them, that wintry fog is so thick that you can't see it. But like I said, even if I wanted to walk over there, from what I've seen in the past, there's really not a safe way for a walker to cross. Now, they have been doing some construction on this interstate for a couple of years, and further on down they're building some new bridges that cross it, and including one that would be sort of a pedestrian bridge, but that would probably be more for a bicycle ride exploration, because walking distance you have to go quite a ways to get there. Yeah, I've been meaning to take a picture of at least one house that represents the snow in case I want to do like a collage, and this one's going to be the winner, just because the cute little snowman at the bottom and the snow, it fits nicely. It feels good to be on flat ground again and not traipsing uphill. Feels like this is like a broken sidewalk here. See how it's kind of elevated? Or maybe there's a board here. Sunset Drive, you see quite a few cars already going left and right on it. Probably not regularly too busy. It just happened coincidental that I haven't encountered many cars for a while, and now all of a sudden there's 3 of them there. Now here's the tricky part. Is this a sidewalk? I don't know. Or is it just like grass and I'm walking on it? Well, either way, it's serving its purpose. Since the left side is just the highway, not too interesting, I'll try to point the camera to the right here. Two things: getting the hood off the neck and not going uphill. Those both did the trick to cooling me down. So now I feel like I'm not cold, but I feel like almost as if I have a nice cool fan blowing on me on a nice hot day, which still doesn't fit the atmosphere that I'm walking, right? But it feels good. I'm not sweating right now. I guess the better phrase to use is it feels like I am in a nice, cool, air-conditioned house right now. So I see the bridge there on Antelope Drive, which would theoretically take you over toward the mountains, and that's kind of like the new looking bridge that I was thinking of, but I didn't think there was one over here. I wonder if they did build a new one over here and I didn't realize it. It's interesting. I'll have to keep that in the mind for the future. See, all the way down there you got someone with a basketball court. They must have a residence down there. Oh, that kind of looks like a creek that cuts through. Alright, we've got a roundabout over here. Not only do you have a roundabout, you have... What is this? Is this like a bus stop? I think it might be. It might be, looks like a little Skyview Drive neighborhood. But it seems like it's a place like where you can park your car and then the bus will pick you up and take you somewhere. I say that because of the bus shelters that are up over there. Well, I'll be darned. I think they did build a new bridge here so foot traffic can get over into the mountains. Because I'm looking on Google Maps right now, and yep, sure enough, if you cross that, you can do just a short walk later to get to the Bonneville shoreline trail. Part of me's tempted to actually go over there, even with the fog. Initially, when I got here, I was going to make a right and just kind of like head back, because that would kind of eventually lead me a full circle with still a walk and ways to go. I don't quite know if there's sidewalks on the bridge, but I'm guessing there are. Oh. Who's up for trying it out? At least we'll check out the bridge, maybe. Take it step by step. Alright, this is what I'm going to say. So it was nice to get to look to see that the bridge is there and I can take it in the future. But from my recollection, once I get all the way over there, even though Google Maps shows that the Bonneville Trail is like, oh yeah, it's just a little bit to your right. From my recollection, when I was a passenger in a car once, I think we had to drive up like back and forth on a big hill, like going up, 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 up. So now that I'm thinking of that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready to exhaust myself. Like I said, it is nice to also know that there's a bus stop there, because maybe one day, and when it's like spring, summer, fall conditions, I could take maybe a bus even somewhere, like to get over here and make it easier rather than walking or bike riding a whole distance. Now this is another area where, because it's been plowed, I don't know if this is an actual sidewalk underneath. It looks like it would be. Surprised there's not more traffic right now, since this leads to the highway. I thought I'd be seeing and hearing a bunch of cars right here. Even though I'm going downhill, the slight workout on the legs, because every time you step down, your foot is smashing down, smushing into the plowed snow, and you're digging your leg back out. It's not too bad right now. Now I do need to be a little bit more cautious. I started walking toward the right a little bit and could feel as if there's like a slight ditch over there. You can even see a sewer grate that goes downward. So you can see on these small streets, there's just like little cul-de-sacs of houses. And you see up here, we're going to have a steep downhill climb, followed by big uphill climb, which I'm already dreading just looking at it. I may look to see if this street on the right is a dead end, or maybe if it'll loop me around without having to take that steep of an incline. Yeah, I could take it. But I mean, either way, I'm still gonna have to. Still gonna have to, like, basically go that elevation. Well, like I keep doing, I guess we'll give it a shot. Because, like I said, it's not gonna do any good if I go back downhill, and eventually I'm just still gonna have to come uphill. Okay. Got a couple of cars turning through the circle here. There's another nice picture of a house with the snow and Christmas. Oh boy. Let's say the one thing I didn't want behind me when I go up here is a snowplow. Fortunately, it wasn't plowing. And then maybe after I climb this hill, I might just decide to conclude the video. This hill isn't too bad. It looked worse from a distance. And the snow has nearly stopped falling. Yeah, that's where we'll go ahead and cap things off. Thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Join our over 1,000 subscribers already by hitting that subscribe button so that you get alerted to when we post new videos. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and Happy New Year. We will see you next time.